this is the first camp I can enjoy myself and be back. My headspace that I'm in now is way better than what I was before, and that's the only thing that matters to me.
A lot of things out there about the size and all of this stuff, but people forget that Tank's a top 10 pound for pound fighter, and he's got power in both hands. And skill-wise and technique-wise, he's been doing this for so long.
In this fight, I feel like Tank has the edge for sure. He's a real fighter, and got skills, high IQ fighter. Regardless of the weight, I've personally seen Tank, spar.
The world of boxing is about to witness something extraordinary. Jake Paul versus Gervonta Tank Davis, a fight no one saw coming. Two fighters from completely different universes are now locked in the same spotlight, ready to collide in a spectacle that has fans from both sides of the sport buzzing with anticipation. Jake, the YouTube phenom turned legit boxer, against Tank, the undefeated knockout machine known for his brutal precision and fearless aggression. This isn't just another celebrity fight. It's pride versus legacy, showmanship versus experience. Both men carry the hunger to prove themselves, Jake seeking validation, Tank defending his dominance. The energy surrounding this matchup is electric. From social media wars to intense face-offs, it's clear, this fight is as real as it gets.
Night and day, right? You have to understand, I went from doing YouTube and Disney Channel to 5 years, once to twice a day, 6 to 7 days a week, training, recovery, taking it more serious than ever. I'm just a different specimen. My body is filled out. I'm going into my athletic prime and going into that and my body filling out, I just feel amazing and feel super strong.
Jake Paul has been louder and more confident than ever during his training camp for Tank Davis. He claims his preparation is unlike anything he's done before, that he's surrounded himself with elite talent, real fighters who push him to the limit every single day. Jake even bragged that he's been dropping sparring partners in camp, proving to critics that his power is no joke. And then came the bombshell. Jake revealed that Shakur Stevenson himself would be joining him this week to help him prepare for the Tank showdown. But in a rare moment of humility, Jake admitted something fans rarely hear from him: he's scared. Not terrified, but respectful. He said Tank Davis is dangerous, truly dangerous. Too many people, Jake argues, underestimate Tank because of his smaller frame. People look at him and see a short guy, Jake explained, but that guy punches like a truck. He openly acknowledged Tank's knockout power in both hands and said stepping into the ring with him gives him real chills. That admission, coming from Jake Paul, speaks volumes. The fear, he says, isn't weakness. It's respect. It's recognition that this fight isn't a YouTuber stunt, it's a real battle that could redefine how the world sees both men.
Going into a fight that I've actually ever been, because I know how good these people are that I'm sparring, and being able to see how good they are and knowing how good Tank is, it's actually going to be my toughest test to date.
Yeah, I think, Jake, you could make the argument, right? Pound for pound wise, this guy's the most ferocious dude in the whole sport, couldn't you?
For sure, for sure. I think he has probably one of the highest knockout percentages in
90-something%, right?
Exactly. And just his speed, his elusiveness, his ring IQ, his conditioning. He's gone 12 rounds so many different times, something that I've never even done. So he's going to be sharp all the way through. I mean, the list goes on. And so just actually being vulnerable for a second, it's like, this is crazy. This is scary. It's kind of keeping me up at night.
Jake, how do you prepare for, like you said, a guy who is shorter than you? How do you find a sparring opponent to replicate something that obviously, there's nobody else out there that's Tank Davis? How do you prepare for a guy that's different stature-wise?
Yeah, no, we have world champions. Raymond Ford in the 130-pound weight class. We got Montana Lovin. Shakur Stevenson is coming in this week. So just sparring against guys on their level and people who have, been doing this their whole entire lives. But we're really focusing on speed. And not as much on power. I'm not doing as much like weightlifting and all of that stuff. I'm actually trying to lose some muscle so that I have less weight and so that my punches are coming off faster.
Many casual fans don't understand the depth of Gervonta Davis's background. From the beginning of his career, Tank was sparring with heavyweights, not amateurs or prospects, seasoned pros who outweighed him by 40, even 50 pounds. And according to analysts like Showbiz the Adult, Tank didn't just survive those sparring sessions, he dominated them. He broke down men who were taller, stronger, and heavier, proving early that his skill and timing were special. So when people say Jake Paul's size could overwhelm Tank, insiders laugh. Tank has already handled bigger challenges behind closed doors. The men he sparred were more technical and experienced than Jake will ever be. Jake has made undeniable progress. He's evolved from a social media personality into a real, disciplined boxer. But Tank has been fighting elite competition since his teenage years. If he could hurt heavyweights and outthink seasoned professionals, Jake's size advantage might not mean much. Showbiz summed it up perfectly. This isn't Tank stepping into danger, it's Jake stepping into a storm.
Or bigger people, like from middleweight to heavyweight. And the thing is, don't be surprised, okay? This is a photo. This is a photo of one of the bigger guys that he was sparring. But in the past, you know, like maybe a few years ago, he was fighting a guy in Mayweather's camp. He was a bigger guy. I think he was like a middleweight or something like that. He was whooping his ass. One time he was like on live whooping a bigger guy's ass. I mean, he's just beating bigger guys like middleweights and stuff. He's done that in sparring forever. Remember this story? I've brought it up a million times and I've showed this clip a million times, but on Ellie Set Back. This story of this guy seeing how Gervonta Tank Davis knocked out this heavyweight.
Tell me the story. What happened?
What's the one boy's name?
No, don't say a name. I don't want to embarrass anyone.
Oh, no, you're right.
But tell people what happened.
Man, I was about to spar. Before I was about to spar Tank, he was sparring this big boy.
A heavyweight.
Heavyweight boy. And Tank hit that nigga. He hit him so hard that he was on the top of the rope just like this. I'm like, I thought he died. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. I thought he died.
Hey, I've seen him knock out some heavyweights. He might knock all ass out now.
You knock out a heavyweight?
Yeah.
How was that?
Cause I hit harder than Wilder.
Now, granted, the heavyweights that Gervonta Tank Davis is whooping and sparring is not like, you know, all-time great heavyweights, all right? And it shouldn't be. But he's sparring the heavyweight, the level of heavyweight that, you know, more experienced than Jake Paul, right? But Jake Paul has beaten those heavyweights himself, all right? I'm thinking that is the caliber of heavyweight that Gervonta Tank Davis is sparring, but he's whooping their asses. And that's a good thing. Honestly, with Jake Paul sparring Raymond Ford, to me, it looked like Raymond Ford got the best of him. It looked like Jake Paul was a little exhausted, and it looked like Raymond Ford wasn't. It looked like Jake Paul was a little disappointed in his performance, and Raymond Ford was trying to give him a pick-me-up. Like, you know, just kind of letting them know, like, you know, we do this and do that. It just looked like Raymond Ford was in a confident, secure place, more dominant place, the more alpha out the two in the ring, and that's Raymond Ford. That ain't Gervonta Davis. You know, I love Raymond Ford. I have him on my fighters list. But still, I don't think anyone thinks he's as skillful or as powerful as Gervonta Tank Davis.
Gervonta Davis has made a major decision about his future. He's done with 135 pounds. The brutal weight cuts, the exhaustion, the toll it took on his body, it's all in the past. Tank wants to feel fresh, strong, and explosive again, so he's moving up to 140 pounds permanently. This move, he says, isn't about comfort, it's about power. At super lightweight, Tank feels alive. His stamina is sharper, his reflexes cleaner, and his knockout power? Even scarier. He's aiming to dominate the division, starting with Jake Paul. Critics say Jake's natural size gives him an edge, but Tank disagrees. He believes his body performs best at this weight, where he doesn't have to drain himself before a fight. At 140, I'm at my best, he said. That's where you'll see the most dangerous version of me. Fans may remember his knockouts at 135, explosive, crowd-stopping moments that went viral. But Tank promises his power now is on another level. Jake Paul might just be the first to experience the new and improved Tank Davis.
Or had been throwing fits a few weeks ago when Gervonta had announced that he would be fighting Jake Paul in, I believe it's coming up in just about a month, or a little bit less than a month, and that he would not be, at least immediately, he would not be rematching Lamont Roach. So people went all up in arms. Shout out to my guy, Big Dog Willie, who even right now is claiming that Gervonta Davis is going to go try to fight in WWE or something like that when he gets done with Jake Paul. But the truth of the matter is, that Gervonta Davis is coming back to boxing. He's always said that he's coming back to boxing. He said he's going to run off, get this bag real quick, and he'll be right back. Well, as you see, the 135-pound WBA, the WBA, where he holds his 135-pound championship, has not stripped him. They said that they were going to look into it if he had not rematched Lamont Roach, but nothing ever really came of that. So as of right now, he still has his 135-pound title, but I'm telling you, the way that things are panning out, I don't think he's going to go back down to the 135-pound division. I think he's going to go to the 140-pound division, where really and truly all the smoke is there. Add to it the fact that when he fights Jake Paul, he's going to be fighting Jake Paul at a higher weight than he would necessarily be fighting guys at 135 pounds. You're probably not going to see him drain down for the fight. I don't think he's going to bulk up at all, but usually even when guys play with their weight and they go up and allow themselves to fight at a higher weight or fight people at a higher weight class.
Karmamel Matan, one of Tank's closest allies, shared his thoughts with calm certainty. Tank's got the edge, easily, he said. Matan explained that Tank's history sparring heavyweights removes any concern about weight differences. Jake being the bigger man won't matter when he's facing someone with Tank's IQ and instincts. The difference is in size, Matan continued. It's skill. Tank's a master, Jake's still learning. Having seen Tank train day after day behind closed doors, Matan's opinion carries weight. He's witnessed the grind, the precision, and the focus that defines Tank's work ethic. His prediction? Tank won't just win, he'll win convincingly. Talent beats size. Skills beat strength, Matan said. And Tank's got both.
It's Jake Paul.
I feel like it's gonna be a good fight, entertaining. It's an exhibition, so we're gonna see how serious they really take it, but I don't know, they both getting a lot of money, so, congrats to them.
What if you had it, who has the edge in this fight?
I feel like Tank has the edge for sure. He's a real fighter, and got skills, high IQ fighter. Regardless of the weight, I've personally seen Tank, spar heavyweights, and even me, I spar heavyweights, So the weight's not really too much, for a lot of great fighters, so I feel like Tank will get it for sure.
Do you think it kind of be an advantage because he's small and fast? Someone said that, I'm I didn't think about that actually.
Yeah, possibly, you're gonna see a lot of Jake Paul's punches coming, he can be able to evade them and then set him up for a big counter.
Wait, but do you think this is going to be different than the other Jake Paul fights we've seen, against Mike Tyson and Julio Cesar Chavez? I know a lot of people weren't the happiest with that, but I feel like Tank's going to give him a different fight. Do you think so?
I think so. We'll see how he adapts to, because a lot of people think it's hard, for a small guy to be fighting a bigger guy, but it's also hard for a big guy to be fighting a smaller guy. It's a small target, they're very fast, so we'll have to see how he adapts to it.
Wait, and is Floyd Mayweather versus Mike Tyson really happening?
Yeah, that's happening.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Wait, is there a date already, or what's going on?
I don't think there's a date yet, but it's definitely an official fight and it's happening.
So what do you got to say about that? What's going on?
It's gonna be a great show. Floyd's gonna do his thing. Hopefully I'm on the undercard so I can put on a great show as well.
No, really? You guys already talked about that?
Not yet, no, but we'll have to see. Yeah, for sure.
And are you gonna fight again this year? What's next with you, Carmel?
I don't know. At the moment, we haven't heard nothing. We're just waiting, staying patient, staying ready. But I should be back at least one more time before the end of the year.
When the fight was first announced, Shakur Stevenson was one of the loudest critics. He mocked the matchup publicly, questioning why a world-class fighter like Gervonta Davis would even consider a bout with a YouTuber-turned-boxer. To him, it felt like a betrayal of boxing's legacy, a circus act, not a contest. But the story took a shocking twist. Reports soon surfaced that Jake Paul had offered Shakur a lucrative deal to join his training camp to help him prepare specifically for Tank's fighting style. And suddenly, Shakur accepted. That decision left many fans stunned. Analysts quickly pointed out the hypocrisy. How could someone who called the fight an insult now help Jake train for it? But the truth, they say, is simple. In boxing, money changes everything. Shakur may have mocked the fight at first, but when the paycheck arrived, his opinion shifted. It's a reminder that in this sport, loyalty often takes a back seat to opportunity.
Money to help him in camp, some easy money to come spar somebody or whatever, go get your money, right? But what's funny to me is for someone who had nothing positive to say about this fight, And someone who was critical of Tank Davis for taking this fight and tried to shit on Tank Davis for taking this fight, he sure is doing whatever he can to be a part of it. He sure is doing whatever he can to be a part of the fight. And then to take that a step deeper and a step further, for someone who doesn't want to talk about Tank Davis anymore, he sure is making moves to ensure that he is continued to be mentioned with Gervonta Tank Davis. Shakur Stevenson is not stupid. The new firm that he hired to do his PR work and get him to do these interviews and try to enhance his brand, they not stupid. Jay Prince not stupid. Josh Dubin not stupid. The people around Shakur Stevenson have been building social media brands, building boxers, and building talent in different industries at the same time. I mean, for a long time. They know how this shit works. They not dumb. They know the conversation that is going to surround Shakur helping Jake Paul. Tank Davis' biggest rival going to camp to help Jake Paul. If Jake Paul has any kind of success in the fight, Jake Paul was successful because Shakur Stevenson is on a different level and he helped prepare Jake Paul for the fight with Tank. That's why Jake Paul did so good. They know this, bro. And to me, that's the problem that I always have with these guys like Shakur Stevenson. You can throw Lamont Roach in there. You can throw Devin Haney in there, bro. You can throw Keyshawn Davis in there if you want to. My issue is they won't admit what it is. And I guess it's an ego thing, it's a pride thing, because I get it, bro.
Rapper Offset gave his own breakdown of the fight, focusing on the physical matchup rather than the politics. He believes Jake's natural size and power give him a legitimate chance. If Jake lands one clean, Offset said, it could change everything. But he didn't dismiss Tank either. He praised Davis's defensive genius, his ability to slip punches, counter instantly, and control distance like a chess master. Tank moves different, Offset admitted. You can't hit what you can't catch. For him, this fight represents the ultimate clash, size versus skill, raw power versus refined technique. Jake might be bigger, but Tank is the sharper weapon. Offset's conclusion? If Jake doesn't land early, Tank's gonna pick him apart.
Tank Davis?
I don't understand how that's happening though.
I mean, that's kind of what Jake Paul does, right?
He's like a 7'8". I'm not saying 7'8", like the nigga's
so what?
Far.
So you think Jake wins?
Yes.
This is kind of like the Mayweather versus Logan Paul fight. And Mayweather, he got the better of Logan for sure. I think Logan's even bigger.
Than Jake? Fuck no.
Logan's bigger than Jake, yeah. Like bigger, yeah. But Jake's now a more experienced boxer than probably Logan was at that time.
I don't know. That weight shit, man, that shit is a real thing.
What's the odds on that shit? I wonder. Not out yet?
Who do you think will win out of Canelo?
I don't really follow boxing like
Canelo,
that.
Man. I like
Canelo.
I like my boy, but Canelo's just a.
Canelo's a beast.
He not old. He still got it. He hit hard as a motherfucker. And then like the fighters he fought and lost to was some dogs though. Like most people won't get in the ring with him, so it's like I feel like I don't know. Has he got the? I don't know. I feel like he gonna land though. What's that? What's the odds on that?
Oh, so the Davis is minus 205 to beat Jake Paul. Jake Paul plus 155.
Wow, that's tight odds. Tank Davis is minus 205. Jake Paul's 155 opening odds. Dude, that's crazy. I don't know.
Tank 5'2" though, but it's like he's so short.
Fast.
Man.
Yeah.
I'm saying the height difference is
like,
crazy.
is Jake even gonna be able to hit him? Like, he's probably so fast. Tank's gonna be able to hit Jake.
He's short though.
Tank's gonna hit him a lot, right?
How tall is Tank? 5'7". He's like 6'3". So different. That's
no, I know.
He's 6'3" and big. Now technique, he got him in technique because he's for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I gotta see that fight. That shit sound crazy.
You gamble on football? You sports bet?
Pay him a lot of money to that fight.
Oh, they're making so much money.
Some analysts have taken a step back from the boxing talk and looked at the bigger picture. They believe the criticism Tank receives isn't about the sport, it's about envy. From the moment Tank started rising through the ranks, he became a target for jealousy. Now that he's about to make one of the biggest paydays in boxing history, that bitterness has only intensified. The same fighters calling him a sellout, these analysts argue, would jump at the same chance if offered. Instead of celebrating his success, they attack his choices. But the truth is simple, Tank earned his moment. Every punch, every round, every knockout built this empire. And now that he's cashing in, the noise around him just proves how much people wish they were in his position.
Fire! I get the chance to pick a great business mind brain and help give him some game in the process. I'm down. Oh, we know you're down. So for one, you look like you hating on Tank, bro. Like you specifically. Two, this is the same guy that said he's not watching the fight, but now you're somewhat taking part in the fight because you're trying to gather or help prepare Jake Paul for the fight. And then this is what Shakur Stevenson does, in my opinion. Shakur will make questionable choices, do certain things, right? And then afterwards, he'll be like, yeah, now that I got y'all attention, y'all, I got everybody mad at me. Bro, the stuff you're doing is weird. You know what I mean? And it's almost like, to me, it's almost close to like Karen behavior, in the sense that Karens, you see some of these Karens and they do all this extra stuff and then act like the victim. And I told you that's one of the main problems with Gen Z, right? Where Gen Z, they will do just weird things, make weird choices, make weird decisions, and then they'll act like, man, I'm Tupac, me against the world, everybody's against me. Everybody's not against you. You're just doing weird things. You're making weird decisions, it's weird behavior, so on and so forth. So let's ultimately recap. We got to do the Boxing Ego recap to see what's really going on here.
The only mystery left is the money. Rumors about the fighters' purses have exploded online. Some reports claim they'll each earn between $20 and $40 million, while others go as high as $200 million apiece. Most analysts doubt those massive numbers. Yes, this fight is enormous, but $200 million per fighter feels almost unrealistic, even in today's pay-per-view world. Still, no one can deny that both Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis are set for life after this clash. The official numbers remain secret, but one thing's clear, this is the biggest crossover event boxing has ever seen.
To 200 mil. That'd be the most any athlete's ever made in one event, in one night. Where are they getting that money? I mean, it's Netflix.
Okay.
Mike Tyson didn't make that. Jake Paul didn't make that.
Yeah. 20 million, I would believe, not 200 million.
20 million seems realistic.
That's a lot.
Even because Netflix is bigger, there's no pay-per-view model, so. And Gervonta is a big pay-per-view draw, especially for being a lighter weight class.
Yeah.
So 20 to even 40 I can get.
That's a lot.
40 I can understand.
When push comes to shove, though, you know, like 20.
Like Canelo's getting that 40.
Yeah.
But Gervonta Davis, he was, especially on Showtime, he's a big pay-per-view star.
Yeah.
He's a knockout artist. 200 mil is just completely false.
Man, I mean,
you swipe. What it says? Swipe to read more. What else does it say? No, there's nothing more. That's probably from the original.
God, Jake is so much bigger.
Yeah.
And that wraps up today's coverage. The anticipation continues to build as the countdown to fight night grows shorter. Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis, two names from different realities, are now just days away from colliding under the bright lights. The question remains, will Jake's power shock the world, or will Tank's experience and precision silence every doubter once again? Stay tuned. Because when that first bell rings, the world will finally see who truly reigns, the influencer or the destroyer.